Welcome back to Daily Dose of Devotional. Today we'll be reading in the New Testament at one of the many important teachings of Jesus found in Mark chapter 1, verses 1 to 6. In town of Capernaum, on a peaceful Sabbath day, a profound encounter unfolded, one that would both challenge the religious norms of the time and reveal the compassionate heart of Jesus. As the day began, Jesus entered a synagogue, a place of worship and learning, accompanied by his disciples. Among those gathered was a man with a withered hand, a condition that had likely plagued him for years. He sat quietly, his eyes filled with hope as he watched the proceedings. The Pharisees, religious leaders known for their strict interpretation of the Sabbath laws, were also present. They watched Jesus closely, eager to find fault and accusations to level against him. They had a long-standing tradition of interpreting the Sabbath law in a way that prohibited any form of work, even acts of healing. Aware of their scrutiny, Jesus turned his attention to the man with the withered hand. He knew the man's suffering and the longing in his heart for healing. With compassion, he asked the man to step forward. Addressing the Pharisees and all those present, he posed a thought-provoking question. Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life, or to kill? In their silence, Jesus looked around at them with a mixture of sadness and righteous anger. He knew their hearts were hardened by legalism, prioritizing religious rules over the well-being of a person in need. Without hesitation, Jesus spoke to the man with the withered hand, "Stretch out your hand." In an act of faith, the man obeyed, extending his withered hand before Jesus. And in that moment, a miraculous transformation occurred. The man's hand was completely restored, made whole by the healing touch of Jesus. The Pharisees, witnessing this profound miracle, were filled with fury and frustration. They could not reconcile their rigid interpretation of the Sabbath law with the compassionate actions of Jesus. Their hearts were hardened, and they left the synagogue, plotting how to accuse him. Jesus, on the other hand, demonstrated that the true spirit of the Sabbath was about acts of mercy and healing, not rigid legalism. He valued the well-being of individuals above religious traditions and sought to alleviate suffering and bring restoration. The healing of the man with the withered hand on the Sabbath challenges us to examine our own priorities and attitudes. It challenges us to practice our faith with a focus on love and compassion, to remain open to God's work in our lives, and to redefine our times of rest as opportunities for doing good. As we reflect on this event, let us consider how we can incorporate these lessons into our own lives, prioritizing compassion and mercy in our interactions with others. Thank you for joining me for today's devotional. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until tomorrow, take care and God bless.